Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today is the day that we are going to do the mid-year freakout. Now, so if some of you have watched my previous video, which was a vlog, I did explain where I've been and why I haven't read that many books this year so far. But that doesn't matter, we can still do all the questions, all the anticipated releases, and all the different things like that. So at first I looked at the questions, I was like, can I really do it this year? And then I was like, definitely, let's give it a go. It's time to freak out. So the first question I have here, sorry, I have my little notes here, is the best book you've read so far this year in 2024, and that is an easy one. That is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and that was closely followed by Ruthless, Vows. Obsessed. I absolutely love the writing, couldn't put it down, couldn't stop reading, love the romance, and yeah, I just obsessed. So that is my first 5-star book of the year, and yeah, love that. I do have another one, but it's for a very specific audience, and that is Practical Ways to Make Your Birth Better by Siobhan Miller, and that is a book that personally changed my life so far. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually 7 months pregnant currently. And for me, which is probably the same for most people who are going to give birth for the first time, I felt a lot of nerves or anxiety or different kind of feelings towards that event. However, I was recommended by different people on YouTube and things like that to read this book, and honestly it is a godsend, and I'm going to do her course, and already it's changed my perception and the way I see the event of giving birth to my baby. The next question is the best sequel you have read this year, and obviously that's going to be Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Again, it's just a 5-star series for me. I would say that Divine Rivals, the first one. You can probably hear my dog in the background moving around. He's in his crate right now. But the first book was probably like a 6-star book for me, and then the second book was like a 5-star book for me. You know, it was just overall brilliant series, and I'm really sad that I don't get to go back into that world, to be honest with you. The third question I have is new releases I haven't read but want to, and I have 2 books for this. So the first book I have is actually Funny Story by Emily Henry. Most people, well, I say most people, but a lot of people I see have seen on YouTube have read this already, and it's mostly got rave reviews. I haven't actually read any or listened to or watched any spoilers or anything like that, because I like to be fairly open going into my books. However, I do know that this is apparently not written the same as kind of her previous books, so I'm interested to see about that and where this story goes. So I haven't really been giving descriptions of the book so far, but just a quick one of this. It's about 2 people, and both of their exes left both of them to be with each other, so they're kind of the exes that got dumped by the other 2 to be together, and then they end up living together. Is it roommate or something like that? Yeah, I'm not fully sure, as I said, but I am interested. I did enjoy Happy Place. I don't think I really raved about it or felt like I needed to the way other people did in Happy Place. Like, I think I gave it possibly a 4.5 star, but on reflection I'd probably give it a 4-star. But it was still really good. I really enjoyed it. It's just, I know people were raving about it, and I just didn't feel that passionate about it. But I am interested to see where this one goes and how I feel about it. I have another new release that I would like to read but haven't yet. Oh, the shine, it's because the book is white. And it's My Favorite Mistake by Marian Keyes. Marian Keyes would be one of my favorite authors. She's an Irish author, and I haven't really heard much talk about this. In fact, I don't really hear much talk about Marian Keyes at all, but she is one of kind of the top writers in Ireland, and I would say I have read most of her backlist. I have a couple that I still have to read, but majority of her backlist I have read. I don't really know anything about this. I think it's about a hotel, and they want to kind of, so there's a woman, who moves back from New York to a small town in Ireland, and they want to open up a hotel, coastal retreat, something like that. Anyway, I'm looking forward to reading it. The only thing is her books tend to be quite hard hitting. Sometimes they tend to talk about a lot of serious topics, especially surrounding about mental health in particular, but also, you know, addiction and things like that. And I'm not sure if I'm in the place to read this currently. But I do love her writing and I do love her books, so I do want to pick it up, which is why I bought it as soon as I saw it. But again, maybe not, you know, maybe not very soon. It might be a few months before I pick this up. So the next question is the biggest disappointment I've had so far in 2024 book-wise, and that would be Summer at Hope Meadows by Lucy Daniels. Now, this was a 3-star for me. However, the reason it was a disappointment for me is because it is the continuation, I suppose, or, you know, of a series that I loved very much growing up, which was Animal Arc. And this is actually kind of the continuation of that, of when they're an adult and kind of where they are now, or adults, I should say, and where they are now. So Mandy Hope, for example, was a child when I was a child reading it, and now she is in her late 20s, and James, which would have been her kind of partner in crime, best friend, he is actually getting married in this book, and I was just kind of more excited about it because I was like, oh, this is great, you know, like I get to relive this world, these characters and all that. However, I think it just, as an adult, it's not really for me anymore. I didn't enjoy the writing that much. I did enjoy the setting. I did enjoy the storyline, the plot, that kind of thing. But I just didn't really enjoy the storyline as much. So, or not the storyline, sorry, the writing. So yeah, I think it was a bit of a disappointment for me. I will read the next book, which is actually, I have it here, which is Christmas at Mistletoe Cottage. Again, nostalgia, just want to see what happens, where it goes. Did enjoy the setting, did enjoy the characters, so I will be reading this around Christmas time. But again, it was kind of more of a disappointment, obviously, because it was just kind of a beloved series of mine as a child. Now, apologies if I am breathing quickly. It's hard to breathe sometimes. I feel like I'm out of breath a lot of the time now. But anyway, so the next question is the newest fictional crush. And I have to say I don't have one currently. Not from 2024 anyway. I'm not sure who I said last year. I think it was like Oliver Forrest, was that his name? It was from the book A Year of Adventures, and but then again, I mean, I don't really count that as a massive crush. If you'd asked me in the second half of 2023, it would have been Xaden, obviously, from Fourth Wing. But yeah, 2024, don't have any as of yet. Yes, I love the characters in Divine Rivals with Roman and Iris and stuff like that, but I wouldn't say he was a crush. I just love them together as a couple. So I don't really have an answer for this one. Now, I had to move you about a little bit, so apologies if that changes anything. But the next question I have is the biggest surprise. For me, this is actually going to be Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. And I did not go into this book expecting great things, which sounds awful, but excuse me. But I actually didn't enjoy The Honeymooners. I'd only read one book from them previously, which was that book. And I know other people raved about it, but I just didn't enjoy that personally. I didn't connect with the characters. I didn't really care about them, didn't care about their relationship. And I don't know, it just wasn't for me. I think at the time I gave them like maybe higher a higher rating than on reflection I would now. Now would be 2.5. Not sure what I said previously. But yeah, no, it's just, that wasn't for me. So, but I wanted to give Christina and Lauren another chance, for me, like, to see if I could connect with them, because it could just be a me problem. It could have been just that time in my life. It could have been just that book. And also, like, people rave about them and I want to be a part of that. I hate being left out. So I decided to pick up something wilder in the library, and I've since returned it, but I really, really enjoyed it. I love the setting. I love the Butch Cassidy kind of storyline references. I love the characters. I love that there was twists and surprises and things involved. It was just kind of a fun time. Like, I don't think it was as dramatic as it probably could have been. At least I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel like any real impending danger or doom, even though there was things happening that would suggest that. I didn't feel that way, but I just enjoyed it. It was 4.5 star for me, and I had a great time with it, and I enjoyed reading it. Next is the books that made you cry. For me, the first one is Ruthless, Vows. Divine Rivals actually didn't make me cry. It made me tear up every now and then, especially the happier moments. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but if you know, like, there's kind of some really nice, touching moments. Those made me tear up, but I wouldn't say cry. But Ruthless Vows actually did make me cry at the end. Towards the end anyway. It was just, I think at that point you had been through so much with these characters that you could just really feel what they were feeling or what they were going through, and yeah, it really caught me at that point. The next book that actually made me cry that I wasn't expecting was Summer at the Kindness Cafe by Victoria Walters. This book caught me by surprise. It was I really, really enjoyed it. It follows 3 women that end up living in this small country village, and kind of their stories, how they got there and how they kind of like rebuilt their lives a little bit. It did hit on a few heavier topics, but it wasn't done in a way that I personally would think would be really triggering, as in they talked about things that happened. For example, it says on the back here, Esther has lost her husband, so she's dealing with grief. We don't actually kind of really go through the end of life, but we're just told that he passed away. So it's not, we're told about it, we're not shown it in that way. However, I wasn't expecting it to kind of hit me the way it did. There's one specific couple of pages in this book, and it really like caught me and off guard, and yeah, had me in tears. But it is a really good book. I gave it a 4.5 star. It's perfect for this time of year, and it kind of covers the span from May to August, so it's just, yeah, it's the perfect book for a lighter read, but with interesting storylines. Next is books that made me happy. I've already told you basically the books that made me happy so far, but there is one book that's currently making me happy, so I thought I would just add that into the mix. I am not the whole way through. In fact, I'm only about a third of the way through, but I'm really enjoying it, and that's Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I'm actually really enjoying the writing on this. From the first page, I would say I really connected with the writing. It's very fairy tale-esque. It's kind of told to us like someone was telling you a story, and I really enjoyed that kind of way of writing. It's whimsical, it's fantasy, it's it's really what's the word, kind of consuming in another world. You learn all about their world, which is kind of similar to ours in a way, kind of not. And yeah, I'm just really, really enjoying this, and yeah, that's all I have to say. Next, it says books you need to read by the end of the year. I have chosen 10. I have lots more than that on a list. I have 24 that I want to read, but I've chosen 10. We're going to do a little bit of just a rapid fire. So basically this year I decided that, so I started YouTube last year around this time, maybe around April or something, May, something like that. And so I hadn't really had a chance to catch up with all kind of the really popular authors or books, things like that. Then, of course, if you've watched my vlog, you know that I got pregnant in December, and then it's been very hard for me to read due to health issues up until kind of this point again. So this year I have decided, and I decided in January as well actually, that I want to read books that have either been sitting on my shelves or that I've been getting FOMO about, or that I just haven't, like popular books that I wanted to see my opinions on, that I hadn't had a chance to read yet. So we're going to go through quickly the books, and yeah. So the first book is Serpent in the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, if I'm correct. So this is actually one of my sister's one of her favorite books, and she's been asking me to read it, but I haven't been in the headspace because I felt like I need like brain power probably to really get into that. And it's a duology anyway, if not a series. So I've been kind of putting it off a little bit just because it's heavier, and I just felt like I didn't have the capacity to actually read it. But it is on the list of what I want to read by the end of the year. The next book is Bookshops and Bonedust by Travis Baldree. This is actually the sequel to Legends and Lattes. I loved Legends and Lattes. It was really such a comfort read. I'd love to read it again. And I've actually read the start of this book, so I've read the first few chapters, and then yeah, I got pregnant. And then all the kind of, it ended up going on a soft DNF, but it's not because I don't want to read it. I definitely do. And I love this world, the series, these characters. So book number 3 is Magnolia Parks, and I have heard so much about this series, and I want to know, I know it's a Marmite series, so it's either you love it or you hate it, and I want to know how I feel about it. I want to know, am I going to be like obsessed with this series and be a part of this world, or whether it's just not for me. But yeah, and I feel like this has summer vibes. Maybe it's just the cover, maybe I'm wrong. But I think I want to hopefully get into this before the summer's out completely. Otherwise I might go into autumn, but my baby is due in autumn, in the beginning of autumn. So yeah, I am hoping to get to this one. The next one is Caraval, by Stephanie Garber. So I really want to read the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy and the Caraval series, and I've heard that you should read this one before the other one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Again, it's been huge in the last year, and I have no idea how to feel about them, and I could do with another world to immerse myself in. The next one is another series that no one would be surprised. Well, you might be surprised I haven't read it, but you wouldn't be surprised that I would have FOMO about it, which is Atwater. Again, I hear it everywhere. In fact, I hear about this series from people who don't generally read a lot or don't really like books, you know, wouldn't be like a hobby or anything, and they're obsessed with this series, they're obsessed with these characters, and yeah, I feel like I'm missing out. So I want to know how I feel about them. And the next book I want to read is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. So this is a book, or even an author I haven't read from before, and it's one that I've heard so many great things. I don't think I've ever heard anything bad said about this book, and it's described as cozy fantasy. I'm all about that. So I think hopefully maybe in the autumn time I might try and pick this up, but we'll just see what kind of brain power I have at that point. But yeah, that's on the list as well. The next book has been on multiple TBRs at this point, and it was bought when it came out, and I have yet to read it, and that is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, or Rebecca F. Kuang, and again, another author I have not read from, and I am excited to check it out. I've heard that this is a bit crazy, and a bit like the main character is really unlikable, and yeah, just a bit chaotic, and I'm excited. The next book that I want to read, I do actually have the physical copy of it, and I have it on Kindle, and I bought this copy when I was in the airport going to Luxembourg last year, and I actually started in the plane and then realised it was more of like a Christmas read, and I was like, maybe I'm going to leave it then. I don't really want to read Christmassy books and vibes in like early October, because I was all about kind of like the autumn Halloween vibes and at that stage magic and all of that. So I did leave it, but I actually really like the premise of this. I like Beth O'Leary's writing. I'm currently listening to, or was listening to, I've got it on Kindle as well, / reading, The Road Trip, and I've already read The Switch, The Flat Share, and The No Show, and I enjoyed all of them. So I am looking forward to reading this and seeing where this book goes. Now, so the next book is one that I definitely want to get to. I've been trying to get to it for a while, and that is Booklovers by Emily Henry. I feel like everybody has read this book apart from me. I feel like that for most people it's like one of their all-time favorite Emily Henry books, and they reread it every year, and I have never read it, so I want to check it out. I want to see what the hype is about. I want to see if I feel the same way about it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And the final one I'm going to add on to this list is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I actually haven't read any Ali Hazelwood books. I've had this book and Love Theoretically on my shelves for quite a while now, and I haven't picked them up. So I do want to pick them up just to see how I connect with her writing and if I would like to pick up any more in the future. I've actually resisted picking up Check and Mate and Not in Love, is it? Or because I don't even know if I connect with her writing or if she's for me. I would like to check out Bride though. That sounds very interesting. But yeah, I definitely want to add Ali Hazelwood book to my reading list before the end of the year. The final question I have on my book tag is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Now this is one that I haven't seen anyone else say, but for me it's just like a must. So it is going to be The Wedding Witch by Erin Sterling, and that is the third in the series of The Ex-Hex and The Kiss Curse. I absolutely loved both of these books. The Ex-Hex was one of my favourite books of last year, and then The Kiss Curse kind of closely followed that. I didn't find it as good as the first one, but I still loved being a part of the world. I still love the characters, I love the humour, I love the writing. I just connect with this so much, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to the third one. I think the third one's the third brother. So there's 3 brothers in the Penhallow family, or Wells family, isn't it? No, Wells is his name, sorry, the Penhallow family, yes. And so Reese was the first one, Wells was the second one, and the third one, I can't remember his name, I'll put it here. And yeah, I'm just really, really looking forward to this, releasing on the 8th of October. And I'm sure there's other ones that I will be picking up or excited about when they get here. Another one that I'm really excited about doesn't actually come out until January 2025, so it doesn't really count, but it would be the third book of the Empyrean series, which is the Fourth Wing series. I'm looking forward to that as well. But other than that, I can't really think of any others off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's loads I'll be picking up between now and then. So there you have it. My freak out is done for the year. I have now got a little bit of a plan for the rest of the year, and I have the books that are on my radar. And yeah, I'm so excited to be back doing this again, and it's really given me so much joy in the last month to actually be back on YouTube, reading, talking about books, enjoying books, and being a part of this world again. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more coming up for me in the next few weeks and months or whatever, please like and subscribe. Of course, it does help my channel because I am just like a little baby YouTuber, and then I had to take a break, so you know, life happens. But I'm really happy to be back. I'm really happy to be chatting to you all again and talking about books and enjoying that world. So I will be back very soon with my July TBR, which will include Summerween, which I'm excited about. And then I suppose I'll have my May wrap up as well, and then probably a vlog after that. So yeah, exciting things to come. I will talk to you soon, my friends. Have a great day and a great week and a great summer, and I will talk to you soon.